So there's a lot of talk with your scheme about how the framework of it deters deep passing, but I was curious how you see it also helping in matchups against mobile quarterbacks like you're going to face with Josh Allen this weekend.
Yeah, he's a handful to play against. I don't think there's any one way to play him. That's kind of the definition of a great quarterback. There is no one way to play him, or everybody would do it. And he's tough to handle. And you always got to defend two plays. The play they call in the huddle and the play he can create on the run. And they utilize the RPO game too, which he's good at. So he's a tough assignment.
Vic, you made changes in the nickel and dime with Eli Apple, in the nickel with Eli. How did Justin Bethel and Perry Nickerson do last week?
They did okay. I think it's first time that Justin's had to play full time. And Perry got some snaps when we went to 6 DBs. And then late in the game when it was out of hand, he got to play some corner. And I think they both did a good job.
Are those changes, without giving away strategy, are those changes fairly permanent, or is that up for grabs again this week?
Nothing's permanent in the NFL.
Not for long?
Not for long, right?
Coach, regarding Javon Holland, it seems like he does so much. Maybe we don't get to see it from a casual observer standpoint. I'm just curious to hear the impact he has in the defense from your description.
Yeah, he has a tremendous impact. We utilize his abilities a lot. And as you alluded to, some of it's not very visible to the average person. And, he's just a tremendous player, and he has a chance to be a special player in the NFL.
Big, Cam Smith was inactive. Where does he stand right now?
Cam's been getting better in practice. We've been giving him more reps. When you come down to your last couple DBs, special teams plays a part in that. Versatility plays a part in that. We only had 3 real safeties dressed last week, so we have to have an emergency fourth. So everything plays into that. But I think Cam's progressing.
Vic, as a matter of general philosophy, where do you stand on the idea of having the cornerback shadow a wide receiver?
It's doable, and done it a lot of my career, and then a lot of times haven't. I don't think with our team right now it's something that we would do, but could be down the line.
Did Brandon Jones play make you at all rethink about how you want to allocate safety snaps with him and Deshaun?
Yeah, it was good to finally get him some action. He's had very limited practice. He had almost very, very limited reps in training camp. Didn't play in any preseason games. We've been getting him more reps in practice, and hopefully we're seeing the progress that allows him to play.
As it relates to building a game plan
As a what?
As it relates to building a game plan for the Bills offense, I was wondering if you looked back at any of the film from the 3 matchups last season, or are you just focusing on what the Bills have shown this year so far?
Yeah, we didn't really look too much back at the 3 games last year. Didn't feel they had a lot of relevance to us.
What do you think Diggs does best?
Get open and catch the ball. He's one of the top receivers in the league. The quarterback has good karma with him. He's heavily targeted. He's just, he's a top-level receiver in this league, and that's one of the reasons their offense is scoring at a high pace, and he's a good player.
You're deep at inside linebacker, but if you find yourself in a spot where you have to use Tyndall, what's the skill that you think could help you that he has?
Well, he has good athletic ability. He's been contributing in the special teams area, and he's improving on defense.
I know it's kind of offbeat, but when you watch the offense put up 70 points last Sunday, does that, have you seen anything close to that in your years?
No, I think that's an anomaly, if I said that the right way, and if you guys can spell it the right way. You just don't see that very often in the NFL. And, games can turn. We went for it on 4th down there in our own territory, didn't get it. It's 21-10. They should come away with at least a field goal to make it 21-13 or score a touchdown. And we ended up making them punt, And that was with the final score, what it was, that it's hard to say that was a big series, but it really was. Maybe that game doesn't get out of hand like it did. And then just, it just steamrolled. And plus there was 2 short field. We gave the offense the ball on the 2, I think, and the 8, and it just rolled.
Kohu had been primarily nickel in the first couple of games and then played wide corner a lot in this last game. Obviously, he can do both, but how do you think he looks as a wide corner?
Good. I thought he played good this past week. I think he plays good.
I could be wrong, but I think the last time he coached against a Josh Allen team was back in 2020. Anything stand out from that game? I know Allen had a pretty good day that day.
Yeah, he's had a lot of good days in his career, and we were victims of one then. He's a really good player. I mean, he's one of the few quarterbacks in the league that can put a team on his back and carry it with his arm and his legs, and he's a tough guy to stop.
Is there anything you're telling your guys or need to tell your guys about tackling a quarterback that big? So it's so hard to bring down.
He's not your average Joe quarterback, with his movement and his size and his strength and his courageousness. He's tough. He's really good.
Coach, you mentioned that you didn't look at the games last year, and the Bills have kind of changed their offense to more 12 personnel with 2 really electric tight ends. Mm-hmm. How does that challenge your defense when you have 2 tight ends that can stretch the field like they can?
Yeah, it gives them a lot of versatility. They can, as you say, it's a 12 offense, but they can run an 11 offense with those people on the field, and they do that. So it gives them versatility. You never know quite what mode they're in, and anytime you have versatile players, offensively or defensively, it's a plus, and they have that.
2 questions here, and they're related. How has the defense played this year, 3-game sample? And if you haven't taken that sample yet, at what point do you do it? Like at the 4-game mark or the 8-game mark? Do you look overall and see how your defense has played?
It's a game-by-game operation, and we obviously didn't play well in the first game. Did some good things, though, to help us win the game. The last 2 games have been better. We're progressing. I don't think you never get a final report card. It's you're just constantly, every week's a test and a final exam, and we got to pass it.
Just wanted your general thoughts on Jerome Baker in your defense.
Yeah, Bake's been, he takes the signals for us. He kind of quarterbacks the defense, and he's been playing pretty damn good. I'd like to see more out of him. I think there's more there than we've been getting, and hopefully we'll get that.
I want to get your perspective on having a cornerback shadow an elite receiver. Based on what I know, it's not something that you've done on a consistent basis. I want to get your thoughts on why that's not necessary or why that's not.
Well, we've done it in the past, and when I say we, meaning me at different places, it has to be warranted. You have to have the guy that can do it, and you have to have the guy that's comfortable doing it. There are some corners that really only like to play one side, and they're only comfortable on one side, and they don't like constantly having to flip. So that's one reason why you wouldn't. But I've been involved where we've done it a lot. And some years we don't do it at all. Some years we do it a good bit.
So it comes down to the cornerback and his.
Yeah, it comes down to both corners, because both corners have to flip. And some guys just don't like flipping. They want to stay on their side. They want to stay in their home. Or other guys, it doesn't matter. They don't care.
Vic, I know it's tough to make extreme statements, but have you ever seen an offense that puts as much pressure on a defense as your offense?
Well, they certainly have had it going here in 2 of the first 3 games for sure. Obviously, they got a lot of speed, and we have a good mix of run-pass, and they're a tough assignment.
What about the Rams, that the greatest show on turf? Did that offense put as much pressure on a defense as this offense?
They were really good. You know, I was the victim of one of those, and they were really good. You know, I don't think we should go there yet after 3 games. We'll see how we do on the road against a good defense this week.